Then tell me why you failed that.
I have no idea why.
And you didn't fail it. You didn't come close.
I have no idea. I don't care what that box says. I voluntarily took this. If I had something to hide, why would I take this test? I live my life in fear knowing this guy is still alive.
Dog in this fight. All I'm trying to determine is the truth.
I have told you the 100% truth.
Knoxville, Tennessee, nestled in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, is a city known for its blend of historic charm, natural beauty, and cultural vibrancy. With a rich history dating back to its founding in 1791, Knoxville served as Tennessee's first capital and remains a hub of heritage with well-preserved 19th-century buildings and historic neighborhoods. The city is also home to the University of Tennessee, whose presence brings a youthful energy and fuels a thriving local economy with research, sports, and arts. Bordered by the Tennessee River, Knoxville offers easy access to the stunning landscapes of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, just a short drive away, making it a favorite for outdoor enthusiasts who enjoy hiking, fishing, and scenic drives. Its historic market square downtown features eclectic shops, restaurants, and event spaces, and the nearby Sunsphere, a remnant of the 1982 World's Fair, serves as an iconic landmark and observation point. Known for its southern hospitality, Knoxville embraces both traditional and progressive influences, with a growing arts scene, numerous annual festivals, and a diverse culinary scene that celebrates both southern staples and global flavors. As a city that has successfully blended its past with a dynamic present, Knoxville offers a welcoming, vibrant community atmosphere that has made it a favorite destination in East Tennessee. In the early morning hours of December 6, 2004, Johnia Berry, a promising 21-year-old graduate student at the University of Tennessee, experienced a break-in that forever changed her family, friends, and community. She had been sound asleep in her Knoxville apartment when the tragedy struck, with an intruder breaking into her home, igniting a violent chain of events that would ripple across Knoxville and eventually lead to legislative change in her honor. Johnia had moved into her Knoxville apartment just 6 weeks prior, sharing it with her friend, Jason Aymami. She and Jason knew each other well through her close-knit social circle, and he, along with her fiancé, had been a trusted part of her life. That night, Jason was awoken by Johnia's screams, and his instinctual reaction was to check on her. As he opened his bedroom door, he encountered a figure moving away from Johnia's room. In a chaotic exchange, the intruder injured Jason, but he managed to escape and run to a nearby convenience store, where he called 911.
Knox County 911.
There's a man that just walked in the store. He's heavily bloodied, and looks like he's been in a fight.
Does he need an ambulance?
His roommate's still in there. Apparently somebody broke into his house.
Okay, can I talk to him, please? Okay. Now what happened?
We're both sleeping. I just felt somebody stab me right in my chest.
Somebody stabbed you?
And hit me in my face. And that's the first thing I did was get up and run.
Okay, what about your roommate? Is he okay?
She was screaming very loud.
Okay.
Didn't have any time. I just got out of there.
First responders arrived quickly at the apartment complex, finding Johnia injured and distressed near the building's entrance. They transported her to the hospital, but tragically, her injuries proved fatal. An autopsy later revealed that she had suffered multiple wounds, highlighting the degree of violence that deeply troubled investigators. Diana Kidd, a Knox County Sheriff's Office patrol officer, recalled feeling struck by the senselessness of the crime, struggling to understand how it could have happened to such a young and promising individual. Investigators immediately began combing through the apartment for clues. The scene revealed signs of a struggle, but there was no indication of forced entry. In the living room, they found a knife with traces of blood, believed to be the murder weapon, which was slightly bent, suggesting it may have been used in a struggle. They also discovered a footprint in Aymami's room, leading to an intriguing forensic puzzle. Outside, a trail of blood droplets led away from the apartment, indicating the assailant had likely sustained injuries and fled through the back door. As they investigated, detectives considered possible suspects close to Johnia, including her fiancé, Jason White, who had been in Michigan attending law school. White was quickly ruled out, as was Aymami, though he remained of interest to detectives.
The door was locked. I remember having to put my key in and unlock the door. Came back here to go to bed after coming from the bathroom and put my alarm clock to 5:30. He pushed me back this way and I fell on the bed like this.
Hard shove?
Yeah, it was a fairly hard shove. I remember hitting my head right. I ran as fast as I could this way.
Given his proximity to the incident, Aymami's statements were closely analysed, including questions about whether he had seen or heard any details that could clarify what had happened. In his initial account, Aymami claimed the apartment was locked before the intruder entered, prompting investigators to wonder how the intruder had gained access. Aymami also mentioned seeing a male figure in silhouette, a detail that helped the police create a composite sketch of the suspect. This sketch drew significant public attention and even brought in a potential lead. One individual fitting the sketch was a local man named Michael Puricifal, who lived within close range of Johnia's apartment and had an outstanding warrant for an unrelated offence. Intriguingly, Puricifal owned a pair of shoes with tread patterns matching the footprint found at the scene. Police brought him in for questioning, and Puricifal gave an account that raised some suspicions. However, detectives ultimately determined his statements were inconsistent, and he was ruled out as a suspect after further investigation. As months passed, the police broadened their forensic examination of the crime scene, focusing on the blood found inside the apartment. Forensic analysis identified 3 distinct DNA profiles on the bent knife: Johnia's, Aymami's, and an unknown third party. The unidentified DNA profile also matched the blood droplets leading out of the back door, validating Aymami's account that there had indeed been an intruder. This third-party DNA profile was run through the National CODIS database, but the search yielded no match. While the case grew cold, tips continued to come in, and Johnia's family worked tirelessly to keep her story in the public eye, hoping for any lead that would bring justice. Over 2 years later, in April 2007, a major break arrived.
We aired it almost every night in the hopes of trying to find who did this to Johnia.
This is who sheriff's investigators are trying to identify. He's in his 20s, about 5 feet 8 inches tall, 150 pounds.
Driver passing a billboard displaying the composite sketch called authorities, saying he recognized the individual portrayed. This man was Taylor Lee Olson, a young Knoxville local with a background of minor offenses. Olson was quickly brought in for questioning and agreed to provide a DNA sample. In September 2007, forensic results confirmed a match between Olson's DNA and the unidentified DNA from the knife and the blood trail in Johnia's apartment. When confronted with the evidence, Olson initially denied involvement.
I can't believe that y'all tell me that my blood's there. That my blood's all down this knife, and like, how the did you get there? I don't know.
You got there because you were there.
However, after extensive questioning, he admitted to being near Johnia's apartment on the night of the incident. He claimed he had been with a friend, allegedly planning to steal a vehicle, but said his friend left, leaving him to continue on alone. Olson recounted that he found the back door to Johnia's apartment unlocked and entered, leading to the tragic confrontation that followed.
Freaked out, and I don't know, and I can't believe this happened.
You got the knife away from that person and just went kind of crazy?
Yeah. I guess they were sleeping with it.
Did you mean to kill her? Was it an accident? But you stabbed her 26 times.
Just as the investigation seemed close to a resolution, Olson's case took another unexpected turn. While awaiting trial, Olson passed away, leaving many questions unanswered. However, the DNA evidence had already confirmed his presence at the scene, and authorities moved to close the case. Johnia's family, though deprived of the opportunity for a trial, took their grief and channeled it into advocacy. Their efforts contributed to the passage of the Johnia Berry Act of 2007, a landmark legislation in Tennessee requiring that DNA samples be collected from anyone arrested for violent felonies.
Is pushing Tennessee lawmakers to create mandatory minimum sentences for people convicted of violent crimes. Under current law, just because a judge announces a lengthy prison sentence in court does not mean the defendant serves all of that time. Instead, it's often significantly less. The parents of murdered Tri-Cities native Johnia Berry are among those who want Tennessee to follow Virginia's lead and put violent offenders away for much longer.
That's not really justice. If you're on our side looking in, you know, and you've lost a loved one, that's not justice.
The governor's task force on sentencing and recidivism previously recommended an overhaul. Senator-elect John Lundberg is a member of that task force. He told us he'll push the issue in the upcoming session, saying it will likely take several years to implement, adding the biggest thing previously holding it back is the significant cost.
This law has since helped solve other cases and prevent similar tragedies, extending Johnia's legacy and preserving her memory through positive change.